Hi, shalom friends. Are you having a good day? I certainly hope so. And it always distresses me when someone says, don't bother me, leave me alone. I'm not having a good day, and I feel for them. But the purpose of these YouTubes is to get you to think a little bit. So have you ever thought about what does it mean to have a good day? What makes a day good? I mean, two people working in the same office, one's having a good day and one's having not a good day, or God forbid, a bad day. And they're both experiencing exactly the same amount of stress, the same amount of productivity, the same amount of everything. Why is one having good and one having bad? Of course, to answer the question of are you having a good day and what do we mean by it, we have to really investigate what do we mean by the word good. Now, good is such a simple word. It's actually one of the first words of the Bible, the Chumash, where the world is chaotic and God creates light and God saw that light was good. And then we find it repeated a couple of times. After each day of creation, God saw that it was good. He saw it was very good. And then we have in paradise, the Garden of Eden, there was a tree of good and bad, or good and evil. So the word good is introduced to a child at a very early age. We have good babies and we have good boys, we have good girls. What do we mean by the word good? Did you have a good lunch today? What do you mean a good lunch? What is a good lunch? I mean, if it's lunch, how could it be bad, to tell you the truth? Well, it was broccoli. It wasn't the French fries. So is that a good lunch or a bad lunch? When a person says, I had a good lunch today, what the person's saying is, I was satisfied. Or a person might be saying, I had a good lunch and I'm not hungry. Or I had good conversation. Or I enjoyed my food. A bad lunch, well, means I didn't enjoy it. It was a very nutritious lunch or very unnutritious lunch. But yet we use the same word, good. And then there's the nun's sequita. My father, blessed memory, sometimes when someone would come down with a cold, he would say in Yiddish, gut verkehlt, which loosely translated means he's good and sick. Good and sick, come on, how do they go together? So before you answer the question as to whether you're having a good day, I think you should take a moment to reflect on what do we mean by good. Well, is there anything that we could say unequivocally is good? I mean, the common adage is, if it's tasty, it's neither good, it's probably fattening and not good for you. So if you're enjoying it too much, it might not be good for you. But seriously speaking, well, is there anything that we could say is absolutely good? Which means that there's nothing negative involved with it. It cannot bring no repercussions in the negative. It's not fattening. It's not unhealthy. It's not unwholesome. Well, what comes to mind to me immediately is God. God is good. You can't go wrong with God. God is the essence of good. Anything that God creates is good. Okay, so what's good? Good is God. So what is a good day? A good day is a day where the presence of God is felt. Is there such a place which is completely good? God is good. Is there a place on earth which is completely good? And again, I think an educated guess would be the Garden of Eden. That was good. But take a look what it says. There was a tree that had good and evil, and it was in the garden. It was actually in the central part of the garden. How in a place of good can there be not good? I could think of a place which is the opposite of Garden of Eden. I would call it, and not have any hesitation, an evil place on earth. I would call it a concentration camp, Auschwitz. That was a bad place. Could you have good and bad? Well, if you were to ask an inmate, what would be a good day in a concentration camp? The answer would be, I made it through the day. Or I made it through the day with less punishment, with less pain. Life is good. Life is from God. So a good day would mean that he lived that day. But actually, it's very hard to imagine a good day in Auschwitz. So why don't we just add a little bit of a nuance to this? Was it possible to do good in a place of bad? And the answer is yes. We read and we admire and we're deeply touched when we read accounts of how one inmate shared with another inmate a good word, a smile, a word of encouragement. How literally people gave away their rations or shared rations, which was barely life-sustaining, and they gave it to others. That was a good act because that was a godly act. And if they had to, God forbid, stand outside in inclement weather for hours and hours, and one was about to give up and fall on the floor, and his friend, as weak and as tired as he was, stuck out a hand and said, "Lean on me," that was an unparalleled act of goodness in a place of unparalleled barbarism, and cruelty. Are you having a good day again? Well, stop it, Rabbi. You're making me a headache. The answer is yes. I am glad that you're having a good day today, because essentially you're having a day which in our tradition would be called Yom Tov. You know how you say holiday in Hebrew? There is Moadim, that's biblical, but the common vernacular is Yom Tov, which literally means good day. So good Yontif in Yiddish would mean it's a good day. What does it mean, a good day? What makes a holiday different than any other day? And I think, sadly, we could acknowledge there are times where we're happier, or we find it easier to be happier on a day of work, and on a holiday, a Yom Tov, we're preoccupied with, oy vey, when I go back to work, I'm going to have to work 3 times to make up what I missed. What makes a Yom Tov, a holiday, a good day is because this is a day where God has kissed the 24 hours in a revealed way. So if there's any a time where a person could touch, where a person could celebrate, where a person could absorb a godly energy, it's on a Passover, it's on a Shavuot, it's on a Sukkot, it's going to be on a Purim. These are Yom Tov. These are good days. Well, did you have a good lunch? The answer is, it satisfied me. Are you having a Yom Tov? You could be miserable in paradise. You could find hope in places of a gulag. You could be miserable when you're healthy. And you could be upbeat even if you're not feeling well. Do you have a good job? How do you define a good job? Well, good salary, good benefits. And yet, how many people have good jobs and are miserable about it? And when they share their feelings with others, they'll say, I don't understand, you have such a good job. What are you complaining about? Thousands of people would sacrifice to have your job. Friends, what's missing is I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel excitement. You know what you're missing? I don't see how in this job I'm getting closer to divinity and spirituality. So you could be a porter, you could drive a taxi, you could be a baker, you could be a dishwasher. But if somehow in your work you have a sense of, I'm honest, I'm decent, I'm self-supporting, I'm giving charity, I'm thankful to the Almighty that I'm able to be functional, in fact, to be productive, you have a very good job. And if you're just a taker, and you get a big salary, but you don't really sense any motive for being in this job other than the money, I don't know if you really have a good job. I don't know if you're really going to enjoy a good lunch. And you might be good and sick. So friends, the answer is we are having good days because we start the day with acknowledging God. And we could have a good day become a better day. We could put on tefillin, we could say a prayer. We could have an absolute exhilarating day. by responding appropriately to the challenges that are given to us. So a good day doesn't mean finding a parking space, because essentially you didn't do it, God did it for you. A good day doesn't mean getting a check, a refund. It's nice, but it's not a good day. You haven't done anything to deserve it. But a good day means someone insulted you and you didn't respond. Something happened which did not please you, but yet you said to yourself, this too is for the best, and I will continue to be optimistic. A really good day is when you ask your closest relative who has the money to lend you, but doesn't. And you say, okay, I respect your decision, though you're upset. But instead of creating a family feud and walking around with bitterness in your heart and destroying the family, you say, okay, it wasn't meant to be. Believe it or not, that is a good day, because your response was appropriate, it was holy, it was divine, it was proper, and it was something that actually created more goodness to this world. So I want to wish you all a very good day and a very godly day. And by doing so, you'll be like the Creator, who at the end of each day said, this day was good. Shalom.